Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanati Mirandasya, Jnananjana Shalakaya, Chakshurumi Nitam Jena, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dhyana Mulam Gurur Murtihi, Puja Mulam Gurur Palam, Mantra Mulam Gurur Bhakyam, Moksha Mulam Gurur Kripaha. Akanda Mandalakaram, Yaptam Jena Characharam, Tatpadam Darsitam Jena, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave, Satchidananda Murtaye, Nishprapanchaya Shantaya, Niralambaya Teyase, Sri Sadguru Devate Namaha, Sri Baba Bajarangate Namaha, Chiti Lakshmi Paramahamsate Namaha, Sri Shankara Tilaka Swami Paramahamsate Namaha. Shankara Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutravasa Vande Bhagavanto Puna Puna Shruti Smriti Purananam Alajam Karunalajam Mami Bhagavat Padam Shankara Loka Shankaram Saraswati Namastovyam Bharate Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Shuklam Varadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanandhyaye Sarva Vigno Pasantaye Agajhanana Patmarkam Gajanana Maharamsam Anekadantam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahe Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samabhava Nirvignam Guru Me Deva Sarva Karyesu Sarvada Om Gham Ganapataye Namaha Hari Om. So yesterday, regarding to the meditation, I forgot to tell you the importance to have an asana for the practice. An asana, the word asana in Sanskrit means the stable posture you adopt during different kind of practice, and also the place in which you sit, we call asana. Okay, so I have this asana, for example. We call this asana, that I use for sitting. This is made of cotton. Okay, and something like this is very good for the practice of the meditation. The moment you can get one like this, please do it. You get it for your practice. Up to this moment, you try to get a piece of cloth or for cotton. Try to sitting always on it for the practice of the meditation. You never be in contact with the ground directly. Here is no much problem because this is in an asana. Okay, but for example, if we are in the countryside, another place, you never sit directly on the floor because the energy of the earth will take your energy. Then for remain your energy inside of you, you always sitting on cotton. Okay? No, nunca. Always put cotton. We cross, if you see, we cross the leg and we make a triangle with our body. Maybe we can think, why we don't meditate, we lay down on the floor and we will be more comfortable. No? Because the energy will go out from you. But when you adopt this posture, when you cross your leg, you put the hands like this, you are making a circuit, closed circuit. then the energy is inside of you. You don't want to go out during the time of the meditation. You want to go inside. Then you have to use the tools. They will help you to go inside. And this is because we put this asana, because it's aislante, we can say. Isolate. Okay. Isolate.
C'est como las manos así. No.
No, as I told you, there are different practices. You can adopt different mudras. We call this mudra. The position of the hands we call mudra. Okay? But now you do it like this. Okay? This is dhyana mudra. We call dhyana mudra. So this is important. You keep it always in mind that you have to do it. Okay. Another thing I didn't told you, because we was talking regarding to the first lesson of Samitina, who was the water and soap. After you take bath and everything, you try to drink every morning 2 liters water, warm water, not so much hot, but never cold, warm water, and you add juice of a lemon. And 2 liters in the morning. If but if in the beginning, if you can't do it, then you drink a liter, and after you drink another liter. But every day you have to minimum drink 2 liters during the day. But the better is you drink without eating nothing. Okay, at least you try to drink a liter. You can add it 1 spoon of honey. It will be a help for you to drink. Okay. This is very good for cleaning your to help to cleaning your intestines. It's like a shower, internal shower. As we take external shower, we put 2 liters and we give shower to internal organs. And it will help you to regulate all the stomach functions and will help regular todas las funciones estomacales, ¿no? And all the digestive process. It will be very helpful for that. Okay. Also, it will help to alkalinize the blood, no? Alkalinize the blood, and this is very good to prevent cancer, for example. Okay. It will help also the work of the brain. It's very good. Also, another thing is good is to take a glass of water with bicarbonate. This also prevents the cancer, against the cancer. Glass of water and 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate. I think this everything for the water and soap. Then the second lesson was to have order in our place. To have order. If we don't have order in our place, then our mind is not in order also, because the outside is only a reflex of our mind. How is the state of our mind? It will be reflected in the things they are surrounded us. So if we want to put in order our mind, or thoughts, or feelings, or emotions, then in the beginning we have to try to put in order our surrounded place. This is because here in the ashram we try to pay attention to these things, no? To have in order our clothes in our armario. Eh? Okay? Cupboard, okay? Or tent, or the kitchen, the tools we use, everything we try to keep in order always and in good condition, okay? It will be helpful, very helpful for our mind and after for the meditation. And the third one was good communication. First, we have to have good communication with ourselves. And we have to know to use the different tools they are near of us. For example, about the dresses, no? It depends the activity we do it in the ashram. We use one dress or another dress. Sometimes we are changed a lot of the dress, but this is very helpful to put our mind in attention to the activity that we are going to do it. No? So, for example, when we come into the meditation, we put you put your white clothes because this will codify your mind for the practice you are going to do. When you are going to practice Hatha Yoga or Vyayam, you put a black one, no? And you don't mix these clothes when you are going to do it Karma Yoga or Niskama Karma Seva. You put another clothes different. These are all symbols. No? For example, this is we call cross. No? If we think in a cross, what is a cross? It's one line vertical and one horizontal, nothing more. But if we are Christians, when we see this symbol, we get a lot of respect. Our mind immediately associates the meaning of this symbol, ¿no? And se dispone de una forma diferente, ¿no? ¿Sorry? Se predisponen. Okay. Become ready, no? To do it something different. No? Maybe we see the cross and then we remember that we are Christians, or we pray. Or, no? But this is because we give this value to this symbol, because the symbol itself, the cross itself is nothing, only two sticks, no? But because we give the meaning to this thing, then immediately when we see, we remember this symbol, no? What is the meaning of that? So the same happened with the clothes we use. Or when we see the sacred image, ¿no? En la medida en que vamos sabiendo, ¿no? As we are starting to know the meaning of the symbols of the sacred image, then our mind, when we'll see, it will codify different. No? Okay. So we can use the external things to get better communication with ourselves. No? Normally, we communicate with ourselves in the material plane, but when we are in ashram, we start to know how we can communicate in different ways, because our reality, as I told you these days before, according to the yoga and the Tantra philosophy, is in three levels. Material level, because we have Stula Sharira, we have one physical body, and in astral or energetic level, because we have different body, we call Sukshma Sharira, is energetic body, and also in a spiritual level, because we have one causal body, or Karana Sharira. So we have to start to be sensible to these three levels of our reality. And for that, we use symbols. They remember us that we are in our life is developed in these three levels. Okay. Then when we can communicate well with us, also we can communicate better with another people, no? And with another beings they surrounded us. Then first, it's very good to get very good communication with ourselves, and after that, we can develop better communication with others. So this was the third lesson of Somitila. Okay. The clothes of the practice you try to wash every 3 days. Every 3 days maximum, you try to wash. Okay. And, there are two important things, very important things in the yoga and in the Vedic tradition. Okay, now I said, what is yoga in the Vedic tradition? Yoga is the mystical path in the Vedic tradition. Yoga we can't separate from the Vedic tradition because it came from the Vedic tradition. Okay, so yoga is the tool, the knowledge, who can help us to get control of our mind. Why we want to have control of our mind and of our senses? Because we want to reach to the knowledge of ourself. Without get control of the mind and the senses, it's impossible to get knowledge of ourself. Another question is, what is ourself? This is another question. Okay? We will try to answer after. But the main tool for get knowledge is the mind. So if we don't get control of the mind, then we can't use when we want. If we want to reach some place, we have to use the mind. But if the mind don't obey us, it's impossible to reach this place. It's like in the Upanishads, they said that the reality of the yogi is like one car is pulled by horse, no? There are 5 horses in the car, and he takes control of the horses through the ropes, no? He's sitting on the car, okay? When he gets control of the horses, he can arrive to every place he wants. But if the horses became crazy and he don't get control of them, then he can arrive the place he wants. So these horses are like the old, we call karma indriyas. Karma indriya means the organs of the actions. In our body, we have organs of the action, and we call karma indriya. Karma means action, and indriya means organ. Okay? And we have jnana indriya. It means organ of the jnana, of the knowledge. Okay? So these organs of the knowledge, they are contact directly with the organs of the action. And they can put in control to the organs of the action. But these organs of the knowledge, they are controlled by the mind directly. So the senses, which are the organs of the knowledge, they are controlled, directed by the mind. In fact, we can say that the senses, they are nothing more than the mind projected itself out of the body. Why we say it out of the body? Because immediately the sense is open, immediately is in contact with the external world, no? If I am sleeping, no? My eyes are closed. Immediately I open, without any kind of possibility, the sense of my sight is connected with the exterior, no? Also, it's the same with the ear, the nose, the taste, the touch, no? Always the sense is attached, is in contact with the exterior world. So the mind immediately projects out and start to perceive the external world immediately.
The mind projects, or are the senses get made to the mind?
The mind projects and the senses taking to the mind. Both is both sides. Go and come back. Going and come back. Going and come back. Always. Okay. After we will talk more in depth about how is the structure of the mind and everything. We are going slowly. Okay. So yoga help us to put in control the senses and the mind, right? To reach this knowledge of who am I. But before to reach to this state, this state of knowledge, I have to develop peace in my mind, calm in my mind, sama. This is because they said yoga is samadhi. It was a very famous yogi. The name was Vyasadeva, and he said yoga is samadhi. Okay. Yoga is samadhi means yoga is the perfection of the calms. Samadhi. Di means perfection. And sama means calm. So samadhi is to get perfection on the calm. Maybe sometimes our mind is in calm, maybe no. One day yes, another yes. But when the sama is constant, when the state of calm, of serenity is in constant in our mind, then we have samadhi. So yoga will take us to this point of samadhi. And from there we can project the knowledge to reach the knowledge of ourselves. Okay? Outside and inside. Outside and inside. Because all reality is outside and inside at this level. Okay? Now we are making distinction between out and in. Okay? In another level, we will talk in different ways.
When you project something outside, it's because you have it inside.
Yes. Yes. But the question is that we have to develop samadhi. This is another matter. Now we are talking about the samadhi, the calmness. Okay. Of course, normally we project outside depends of all paradigm. Okay. We call this pramana in Sanskrit. Okay. There are 5 main fluctuations in the mind. I'm not going to talk now about that, but the first one is pramana. It means the mind always fluctuates. Up to the point we control the mind and we get the control, the perfection of the control, then the mind don't fluctuate in these 5 kind of vibrations. The mind is vibrated. And the first one is pramana. And pramana means paradigm. So normally we project ourselves in the exterior world and we try to know the external world according to the paradigm we have inside. No? For example, if I born in a family, a Western family, and they teach me that it's necessary to eat meat to live. Without eat meat, it's not possible to live because I don't have sufficient protein, or maybe I don't have some kind of vitamin, etc. No? And not only my parents, they teach me that. Also, I hear to the doctors, they said that, and the publicity and all the culture, they told me that. Then it's normal that I take meat. And when I go to the restaurant, I want to enjoy eat meat because it's my paradigm. You know? Then when I talk about the foods, talk always will be around the meat, the different class of the meat, the taste of the meat. I can do it meat in this way, another way, etc. Because this is my paradigm. But if one day I discover that it's not necessary to eat meat, and if I discover that the meat is very bad for my health, and if I discover that if I eat meat, I have to kill animals, and I will give pain to the animals, then my paradigm starts to change. Then when I will talk about the food, my paradigm, because it will change, I will talk in different way. Understand? So pramana is very important, and the paradigm is very important. And of course, when I project myself, I project from my paradigm, and I try to know from my inside. Okay. So this is because we try to reach one point that all paradigms will be more high, more sensible. And from there, it will be more easy to stop this kind of vibration. But if my paradigm is in very lower state, it's more difficult. For example, lower means that my desires in the life is only to get enjoyment of the basic things, to eat food, get sex, and in low level, and support my house, maybe, I don't know, support my family, and nothing more. I don't have more aspirations in the life. I want to live, simple life, getting food, house, my family will be good, enjoy food, drinking, sex, nothing more. This is low level. Maybe I am a person who want to get, who want to travel, who want to get relation with many people. I want to be more sophisticated in my relation with the persons. I want to get more sophisticated kind of sex. I want to get more money, power. I want to get control of someone. I am in a more high level. And if one point, I arrive to one point that I want to develop in my life, one kind of life, don't destabilize myself. I desestabilizar, que desestabilice mi estado de ser, that no generate attachments, because when I want to get things, always I am attached to the things. I attach to the things. I want to live the life not only with material aspirations. I want to live the life with spiritual aspirations. And I try to reduce the material aspirations and try to develop spiritual aspirations. In this moment, I am in more high level. It's more easy that I get samadhi because my senses are outside. No? It's more easy. I put inside the senses. No? When I go to meditation, if I have a problem with the bank, for example, if I want to meditate, but I have a big problem with banks, no? When I start to meditate, maybe the problems of the banks coming to me, and it will be very difficult. If I have problems with the banks, I have problems with the family, I have problems with my friends, I have problems with my work, I have problems with the society, I have problems in every part, because I am very engaged with many things outside of me. It's very difficult to be inside. There is a story of one guru and one shishya. This shishya, this disciple, coming to him to learn meditation. And he left everything. But he have some amount of money. Then he arrived to the ashram and started to practice of the meditation. Then after 1 week, the guru asking to him, "Oh, how are you, my dear shishya? How is the practice of the meditation?" "Okay, Gurudev, is good, but I have some problem." "What is your problem?" "Because I have this amount of money. And when I go to the meditation, sometimes I think maybe if I enter in samadhi, some people, they can came and they can steal me this money, and I will lost all the money, no?" And then the Guru said, "Okay, no problem. We will do it something for you don't have problem. You put here near of you, and then it will be no problem." So after 1 week, he again asking to him. He said, "Oh, my Gurudev, yes, it's okay, but still I have the problem of the money, because if I enter in samadhi, I don't feel my body, I don't feel nothing, and the people, they can steal, no, without any problem." "Okay, we do it one thing. We come into the market, we will buy gold, and we make a big ring, and then you put in the finger, and then no problem." Okay, he did that. He started practicing meditation. After 1 week, again, he asked him. He said, "Oh, Gurudev, I am sorry, because now to my mind coming the thought, if I enter in samadhi, the people, they can cut my finger, and also I don't will feel, no?" So immediately the master said to him, asking to him, "Please give me your ring." He said, "Oh yes, Gurudev." And then suddenly the guru take the ring, throw to the river. "Oh, Gurudev, what are you doing?" He said, "Now you go practice meditation. Now problem finished. No problem." Then in this way, when you don't have attachment, when your relation with the external world is not hard, it's more easy to get this state of samadhi, this state of yoga. No? This is because we have to try to elevate our condition from the low level to the middle, and after go to the high level. We call this tamasic level, rajasic level, and sattvic level. Okay. Then the spiritual level we call sattvic. Okay.
Because he thinks about the ring.
Maybe after the guru has to kick him.
Go and find.
We don't know what happened after. The history stopped there. The histories are always histories.
I think this person can be making his job. The reason needs to have the money.
Yeah, maybe he left the master. He said, "Oh, he is no guru, no real and true guru." Maybe he went out. Or maybe no, or because we don't know. The mind is very strange. Sometimes he reacts in this way. No, really. Sometimes you are in a film. You are living one film in your life, no? And you think this is the reality. But your guru see very well this is like a history. You are living the one irreal history. And he makes something, no? In Zen, they said the Guru gives you Satori. No? Or in the yoga, we said the Guru gives you a Taraka. And then suddenly you see, oh, stupid, I am very stupid, you know, why I make this thing? Immediately your mind changes. Sometimes happens this, you know? And immediately, suddenly you change. Sometimes you need more time. You know? But sometimes these things happen. You know? This is the grace of the Guru. When you have the grace, the kripa of the Guru, many things can change very quickly. Then in another way will take you long time, long process. No? Because due to your prarabdha karma, your karmas from the past lives, you accumulate, and they are now taking you through one long process. You have to solve many problems. You taking from the past lives, and you have to solve everything. Up to the time you solve, is very difficult to practice. No, you see, very few people they come into the ashram, no, for practice meditation. Or maybe you know many people in your life, and I am very sure that you can talk about the spiritual life with very few people. No? And some of these people, they are very engaged in the world, and it's very difficult for them. They get time, for example, for practice meditation. Not only physical time, also emotional time, because their mind is very engaged with many kind of emotions, and it's very difficult for them. I remember one friend, one day he told me that he went for a weekend, one place, very isolated place, but he has to come back immediately to the city because he feels like a crazy, because it was so silent there, he can't resist, and he had to come back. So the people normally they don't get physical time and emotional time. No? It's necessary to get emotional and physical time, and these things we can get in the ashram. So yoga is this process in the Vedic knowledge who can allow us to arrive to this state. Vedic knowledge is a very great knowledge. Veda means knowledge. Which knowledge is Veda? Veda basically is the knowledge of the origin of the universe, and because we are in the universe, of us, the knowledge of the reality of the universe. What is this universe? How works this universe? The reality of us, like entity, living entity, and what have to be our correct relationship with the universe and with the origin, this origin of the universe. We call that dharma. Okay, it's a universal law. We call dharma. The ignorance that is inside of this universe, and for that is inside of us, and don't allow us to get the knowledge of this dharma. The process to avoid, to erase this ignorance, and the state of the consciousness, the supreme consciousness that arrives in us when we can erase this ignorance. So all this knowledge we call Veda. So in Veda tradition, in Vedic Dharma, we can find not only spiritual knowledge, we find knowledge of art, science, we can find the knowledge of mathematics, of physics, of medicine. For example, you know Ayurveda, no? Ayurveda is the Vedic medicine. You can find astronomy, astrology. In fact, you find 64 kind of arts there are in the Veda tradition. Dance, paint, music, many things we find there. No? And all this knowledge, they are for try to help to the human being to develop his life in a correct way, in harmony. So, because we have intellect, and we have mind, and we have emotions, we have to develop in the correct way our emotions, our intellect. And for that, we need many kind of expressions. But if we don't do it in a correct way, these expressions, so these expressions, they will take us in a wrong way. For example, the concept of the art in the Veda tradition is little different to the arts in West tradition. Why? Because we try to express emotions or state of our mind that they will help us to arrive to the understanding how is working our mind and how we are related to the one supreme conscience. In the Western tradition, is different. We don't have this concept. Maybe someone he can express in this way, no? But
you repeat this explanation.
Yeah.
It's paradigm.
Yeah. In the Vedic arts, we try to express the art like a way to understand ourselves, how our mind works. We try to express different levels of feelings and emotions. And in order to understand what is our relationship with the supreme high consciousness. Okay? So everything we do is expression to try to arrive to the supreme consciousness. Because all the manifestations in this universe coming from the supreme consciousness. Nothing is separate from this supreme consciousness. So we can say, as Gurudev, he teaches us that we have to try to put thoughts to our emotions. In order to understand ourselves, we have to try to put thought to our emotions, to our feelings, and words to our thoughts. So the feelings, the thoughts, and the words we can express in the way of different kind of arts. And in the way we can express this, we are more near of the divinity. We do it in the art, in the conception of the art, we do it all this because we want to arrive more near of the divinity. We can say all the arts are sacred in the Vedic tradition. We not separate of the divinity, as for example the ice, the water of the river, and the cloud. The water is the same, but the shape is different. The form is different, no? They are never separate. Or we can say, I can put another example. The wave in the ocean is never separate from the ocean. No? But we see the wave and we say, oh, this is the sea or the ocean, and in the ocean is the wave. This is only one point of perception, because we perceive through the senses, we make difference, okay? But the essence of the wave and the sea is not different, it's the same. The wave never is separate from the ocean, no? But we perceive separate. This is the problem of all perception. In order to understand that the wave is in contact with the ocean, because we lost this consciousness, we try to express art. No? We try to express our emotions, or feelings, or thoughts in more high level. No? And this is because we try to thinking and expressing poems, for example. No? For example, the Vedas, the books in which is write the knowledge of the Veda, we call Vedas. No? There are 4 Vedas. They are expressed in form of poems, in form of hymns, and is the most special form to express knowledge through metaphor, through different forms of the language, that if we talk in normal way, it's more difficult to express this kind of concepts. No? So this is because we said the Vedic art is sacred. You never can separate. It's a tool who can help us to arrive near of the divinity. This is the purpose of the art. Okay. But maybe the art for the artist is one kind of way to recognize himself in the art and see the value of him in the expression of his art. No? I make this paint, or I make this poem, or I compose this music, and I feel very well. Oh, I composed this, no? And I hope the people, they said me, oh, what beautiful paint, oh, what beautiful music you compose, etc. No? I am waiting always the reconocimiento. How you say reconocimiento?
Yeah.
They recognize, the people, they recognize, no, your values, no, your capacity, etc. This creates ego. This creates in yourself ego, no? But the Vedic artist, he always, when he creates, he never wants this recognition. He wants to express his love for the divinity. And he tried to express as much as possible in the right way his deep feelings or his deep knowledge. He arrived through the meditation, or he arrived to the reflection, etc. And of course, the people, he shared with the people in order to help the people to arrive to this state. He arrived, no? Not for the recognition of the people. This was the point of Abhinavagupta. I was talking before yesterday. This ashram is the name, the Gurudan name is Abhinavagupta, is dedicated to him, no? In honor to him. And if you can read something about the life of Abhinavagupta, you can read that he was a very deep philosopher, but also he was very great artist. No? this is because many times we can find good philosophers in the Vedic tradition and together very good artists. No? Or they try to promote the art in different ways. No? Because it's the one very important way to reach to the divinity. No? It's also related to we call bhakti yoga. There are different ways for the yoga. And one way we call bhakti. Bhakti means devotion. 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 Okay. Devotion to express your inside feelings, no? To the divinity. Bhakti yoga is one way for to reach this state of yoga, and is very well structured. But sometimes the devotion flow spontaneous, simple. No? So Vedic tradition is a tradition in which is include the yoga. So yoga is not put the leg behind the head. Yoga is not make, I don't know how many kind of breathings, strange breathings, no? To develop very strong and very beautiful body. Nothing of that is yoga. Yoga, remember always, yoga is the process to reach to samadhi, the inner calm, the inner calm. And this exercise, we do it in the practice of the yoga. They are only one part, because we have physical body, we have to take care of our physical body, because we need to practice meditation, and we practice meditation. Remember, I told you yesterday, with your physical body, we need to develop the inner will, and for that we practice also this physical energy, this physical exercise, and the exercise of breathing. And we have to develop more things, and we have different practice of yoga for that. We have to develop the emotions in the right way, and we have bhakti yoga, for example. Tomorrow we will talk about the karma yoga, because karma yoga is the yoga of the action. And we start to talk a little about this very important book in the Vedic tradition, which is the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, we can say that is something like, for the Christian is the Bible, Bhagavad Gita is for the Vedic. Here we have the resume of all the Vedas, of all the knowledge of the Vedas, of all the knowledge of the sacred scriptures of the Vedic tradition. Okay, so here is the essence of the karma and jnana yoga, and tomorrow we will introduce something about this. Okay, and today we finish. Sahana bhavatu sahano bhunaktu saha viryam karavavahai tejasvina vaditamastu avidvisha vahai. Om shanti shanti shanti. Bolo Sri Satyanarayana Maharaj ki jai, Sri Bhagavan ji ki jai, Sri Sanatana Dharma ki jai, Jai Jai Sitaram. Thank you very much.
Thank you.